Are you taking a drug after a heart attack that offers no survival benefit and may raise your risk if you're a woman?
Welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Stay informed with quick, easy-to-listen summaries of our latest articles, perfect for when you're on the go. No reading required. Subscribe for free at mercola.com for the latest health insights.
Hello, and welcome to Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. Today we're examining new evidence on beta blockers after heart attack in people whose hearts still pump normally, what the numbers truly show, why outcomes differ for women, and how you can focus on cellular health to protect your heart. I'm Ethan Foster.
I'm Alara Sky. The core finding is direct. In patients with preserved heart function after a heart attack, beta blockers did not reduce death, repeat heart attack, or hospitalizations for heart failure. Side effects like fatigue, dizziness, depression, and sexual dysfunction are common. Yet for many people, they bring burden without measurable protection.
Let's anchor this with the large trial that followed 8,438 heart attack patients. After a median 3.7 years, event rates were virtually identical, whether patients used beta blockers or not. There were 22.5 versus 21.7 events per 1,000 patient years, and deaths were nearly the same, 161 with beta blockers versus 153 without. That is not a survival advantage.
When researchers looked at specific outcomes, repeat heart attacks were equal, 143 in each group, and heart failure hospitalizations were similar, 39 versus 44. Safety outcomes also showed no advantage. For someone with preserved pumping function, these data argue that you don't gain meaningful protection while you still face the side effect profile.
Despite this, major guidelines have continued to endorse beta blockers broadly after heart attack, based on older studies from the 1970s and 1980s. Care has changed dramatically since then, from revascularization to modern medications, so the evidence base has shifted while prescribing habits have not. That gap is what today's data challenge.
There's another critical layer: sex differences. Research in the European Heart Journal found that women with preserved heart function had worse outcomes on beta blockers, especially at higher doses, while men showed no meaningful difference whether they took them or not. Women on higher doses faced nearly triple the risk of death or complications compared with women who avoided the drugs.
Among women in that study, all-cause death was almost doubled on beta blockers, 46 versus 24. The excess was largely from cardiac causes. The mechanism is plausible. Women typically have smaller hearts, and beta blockers slow rate and reduce contractility. In a smaller chamber, that reduction can overshoot what's helpful. Pharmacokinetics differ as well, leading to higher blood concentrations from the same dose.
For you, this means a one-size-fits-all drug policy is not serving everyone equally. If your ejection fraction is preserved after a heart attack, and especially if you are a woman, it's reasonable to ask your physician to reassess whether a beta blocker is necessary, and if so, at what dose and for how long, given the absence of demonstrated survival benefit.
The article points to a different root cause to address: mitochondrial dysfunction, driven in large part by linoleic acid from vegetable oils. When mitochondria are impaired, your cells struggle to produce energy efficiently, and downstream risk for insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease rises. The corrective steps are practical and measurable.
First, remove linoleic acid-rich oils. That means eliminating vegetable oils commonly found in processed foods and restaurant meals. Replace them with stable fats like grass-fed tallow, ghee, or butter. Keep total LA intake below 5 grams per day. If you can get under 2 grams, even better. The goal is to unburden your mitochondria and cell membranes from excess polyunsaturated fats.
Second, fuel with the right carbohydrates. Target about 250 grams per day from sources such as whole fruits, white rice, root vegetables, and well-tolerated grains. If you have gut sensitivity or frequent bloating, skip fiber-heavy choices initially and start with easier-to-digest options like white rice or fruit, while your gut calms and your energy handling improves.
Third, use walking as daily heart care. Aim for 1 hour per day. If that's too much at first, do 10 to 15-minute walks after meals and build up. Walking improves blood flow, lowers blood pressure, and supports oxidative metabolism, so your mitochondria can make ATP more efficiently. Simple, accessible, and repeatable.
Fourth, get sunlight exposure for energy and repair. Sunlight helps release nitric oxide, align your circadian rhythm, and supports intracellular melatonin generation that protects your heart. If you've been consuming high LA, your skin may burn faster. Until you've removed LA for about 6 months, avoid peak sun between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., and prioritize early morning or late afternoon light.
Fifth, measure insulin resistance with the HOMA-IR test. Calculate it as fasting glucose, milligrams per deciliter, times fasting insulin, microunits per milliliter, divided by 405. If your glucose is in millimoles per liter, use fasting glucose times fasting insulin divided by 22.5. A score below 1.0 is considered healthy. Higher values indicate insulin resistance. Tracking HOMA-IR lets you see whether your mitochondrial support plan is restoring metabolic sensitivity.
The article also notes a real-world example. A HOMA-IR of 0.2 achieved by adding strategic carbohydrates while keeping LA low, illustrating that improved glucose availability alongside reduced oxidative stress can enhance insulin sensitivity. The principle is to repair cellular energy handling rather than leaning on drugs that don't move survival outcomes.
For many listeners, the hardest step is eliminating vegetable oils because they're hidden in chips, dressings, sauces, and fried foods. Reading labels, cooking at home, and choosing simple preparations when eating out help you cut LA toward the target. As intake falls over months, membranes remodel and energy production steadies.
If you were placed on a beta blocker out of routine after a heart attack and your heart function is preserved, the evidence summarized here supports an informed discussion with your cardiology team. The data do not show reduced death or reinfarction, and for women, the risk signal is notable at higher doses. Tailoring therapy to your physiology is the point.
Here's your challenge. This week, remove vegetable oils from your kitchen. Replace them with butter, ghee, or grass-fed tallow. Schedule a daily walk of at least 15 minutes after meals. Get morning sunlight, and order a fasting insulin and glucose panel to calculate your HOMA-IR within the next month. Use those numbers to track your progress.
Thank you for watching Dr. Mercola's Cellular Wisdom. We'll see you on the next episode.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe now and click the notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.